Today, Elon Musk is one of the richest and most influential people on Earth. His companies changed electric cars, revolutionized private space travel, and pushed the boundaries of artificial intelligence. But none of this happened overnight. Before the billions, before Tesla, before SpaceX, there was a quiet, book-loving boy growing up in South Africa. A boy who was bullied at school, spent countless hours reading, and dreamed about changing the future. That dream would eventually make him one of the most powerful entrepreneurs in history. But first, he would have to face failure, rejection, and moments when everything was about to collapse. By the age of 12, Elon had already taught himself computer programming. While most children spent their time playing video games, Elon wanted to build them, using nothing more than books, endless curiosity, and countless hours of practice. He created a simple space shooter called Blaster. It wasn't a masterpiece, but it didn't have to be. Soon after, he sold the game's source code for $500. For most people, $500 isn't life-changing. But for 12-year-old Elon, it proved something incredibly important. His ideas had value, and this small success became the very first step toward a future that would eventually change the world. But this was only the beginning. The biggest challenges were still ahead. Every extraordinary journey begins somewhere. For Elon Musk, it began in Pretoria, South Africa, in 1971. As a child, Elon was quiet, curious, and different from those around him. While other children spent their afternoons playing outside, he spent countless hours reading books, science fiction, history, and anything that could expand his imagination. Books became his escape and his greatest teacher. But being different came at a cost. At school, Elon was often bullied. The bullying became so severe that one attack sent him to the hospital. Many people would have let those experiences define them, but Elon didn't. Instead, he became even more determined. Little did anyone know that the quiet boy, sitting alone with a book, would one day change the future. The more Elon learned, the bigger his dreams became. He wasn't interested in living an ordinary life. He believed the future could be better, but only if someone was willing to build it. At just 17 years old, Elon made one of the biggest decisions of his life. He left South Africa and moved to Canada. Not because it was easy, but because he believed it was the first step towards something much greater. He knew if he wanted to change the world, he had to go where opportunity existed. It was a huge risk, but sometimes the biggest opportunities begin with the biggest risks. Canada gave Elon a new beginning, but he knew if he truly wanted to build the future, he had to go where innovation was happening. So he moved to the United States. In the mid-1990s, the internet was changing everything. Most people didn't realize its potential, but Elon did. Together with his brother, Kimball Musk, he founded a small software company called Zip2. They worked day and night, sometimes sleeping in the office, showering at a nearby gym. They had very little money, but they had one powerful advantage. They refused to give up. Years of hard work were finally paying off. Zip2 was growing faster than anyone expected. Investors began to notice, and soon, one of the biggest computer companies in the world made an offer. In 1999, Compaq acquired Zip2 for more than $300 million. At just 27 years old, Elon Musk became a millionaire. Most people would have stopped there. They would have bought a luxury home, expensive cars, and lived a comfortable life. But Elon wasn't chasing money. He was chasing something much bigger. His next idea would completely transform online banking and eventually change the way millions of people send money. Instead of slowing down, Elon made an even bigger bet. He believed the future of money would exist online. In the year 2000, he founded a company called X.com. At the time, the idea sounded impossible. People didn't trust sending money over the internet. Many experts believed it would never work. But Elon ignored the critics. Soon, X.com merged with another startup, and together, they created PayPal. The platform grew faster than anyone expected. Millions of people began using it. And once again, Elon Musk had proven that impossible ideas can become reality. After selling PayPal, Elon had enough money to retire for the rest of his life. But instead, he risked everything again. After PayPal was sold, Elon Musk became one of the richest entrepreneurs in Silicon Valley. Most people would have retired. They would have lived a life of luxury without ever working again. But Elon had a different dream. He believed humanity had to become a multi-planetary species. In 2002, he founded SpaceX. His goal sounded impossible: build reusable rockets and one day send humans to Mars. Almost everyone laughed at the idea. Experts said it would never work. But Elon didn't stop there. Just 2 years later, he invested in another struggling company, Tesla. At the time, electric cars were considered slow, expensive, and impractical. Once again, Elon was betting everything on the impossible. Then, everything began to fall apart. SpaceX had already failed once. Then it failed again. And then, a third rocket exploded. Millions of dollars vanished in seconds. At the same time, Tesla was burning through cash. The global financial crisis made things even worse. Investors were pulling out. The media called him a failure. Some believed both companies would collapse. By 2008, Elon Musk was almost completely out of money. He had invested nearly everything into his dreams. For the first time, it seemed he might lose everything. December 2008, everything came down to one final launch. If this rocket failed, SpaceX would be finished. Years of hard work, almost all of Elon's remaining fortune, and Elon's dream would disappear forever. The countdown began. 3, 2, 1, liftoff. For a few seconds, no one knew what would happen. Then, the impossible happened. Falcon 1 reached orbit. For the first time in history, a privately funded rocket successfully reached Earth's orbit. It wasn't just a victory. It changed the future of space exploration. But Elon wasn't finished. The next challenge would completely transform the automotive industry and change the way the world looked at electric cars. SpaceX had survived, but Elon Musk was far from finished. Tesla was still fighting for its future. For decades, people believed electric cars were slow, boring, and impossible to mass produce. Elon wanted to prove everyone wrong. Tesla introduced vehicles that were not only electric, but faster, safer, and more advanced than many gasoline cars. At first, The world was skeptical, but slowly, everything began to change. Millions of people started believing that the future of transportation was electric. But Elon wasn't just building electric cars. He was preparing for something even bigger: artificial intelligence and the future of humanity. For Elon Musk, building successful companies was never the final goal. Every company was created to solve a problem. SpaceX, to make humanity a multi-planetary species. Tesla, to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. Neuralink, to explore the connection between humans and artificial intelligence. Starlink, to bring high-speed internet to even the most remote places on Earth. His vision was never about becoming the richest man in the world. It was about building the future, even after building some of the world's most influential companies. Elon Musk continues to think decades into the future. His dream of sending humans to Mars is no longer just science fiction. Every SpaceX launch, every Tesla build, every Starlink satellite brings that vision one step closer. His journey reminds us that the biggest obstacles often stand in front of the biggest opportunities. He was rejected. He was criticized. He was told it couldn't be done. But he kept moving forward, again and again and again. As you watch this today, thousands of Starlink satellites are orbiting above Earth. SpaceX continues to launch rockets. Tesla continues to push the electric revolution. And somewhere, engineers are still working on the next impossible idea. No one knows what Elon Musk's final legacy will be, because his story is still unfolding. One idea, one rocket, one invention at a time. Perhaps the greatest lesson isn't about becoming rich or famous. It's about having the courage to keep building, even when the world says it can't be done. The future belongs to those who dare to create it today. Millions of people drive electric vehicles because one company refused to accept that gasoline cars were the only future. Private companies now launch astronauts into space, something that once seemed impossible. High-speed internet reaches places that were once disconnected. Whether you admire Elon Musk or disagree with his decisions, his impact on technology, business, and space exploration cannot be ignored. Very few people change an industry. Elon Musk changed several. History will decide how Elon Musk will ultimately be remembered. But one thing is impossible to ignore. He changed the course of technology. He inspired millions of people to think bigger, to take risks, and to keep building, even when others said it couldn't be done. His story is still being written. Thank you for watching.